Hey everybody, I'm Ryan from 2Cat Gaming. Today we're going to talk about how to do the minigame Wintertodt properly in old school Runescape. As a disclaimer going into this, I'm not going to go over in incredible depth because there really is a lot to this minigame, especially when we get into drop rates and things like that. Just what you'd need to know to do it properly. The objective of this is to assist the pyromancers in repelling the Wintertodt. You get there by taking a ship by talking to Vios in the northernmost dock of Port Sarim. Walk through the city to the west, and then following the path north. Once you take the ship, you can easily use your map to figure out your way there. Before we get into how to do it, there are a few things and misconceptions. The damage you take from the Wintertodt is based on your HP, and having warm clothing. For example, if you're at 10 HP, you get dealt 1 damage from basic attacks, and at 99 HP, you get dealt 6 damage. So it doesn't matter what health you go to the Wintertodt with. A lot of people like doing it at 10 health so that the food they eat is cheaper. I also suggest wearing warm clothing because it reduces the damage that you take. Here's a list of all the items that are considered warm clothing. And make sure you use at least a steel axe to chop the fastest. You can also use a better axe, but at least steel. The items that you need at least a steel axe, a tinderbox, hammer, food, and a knife. Tinderbox, hammer, and knife will be provided at the Wintertodt, so don't worry about buying those. And make sure your food has multiple charges, so it only takes up 1 inventory slot for multiple uses. Generally, cake is perfect if you're at very low HP, wine is perfect for middling HP, and you're going to need brews if you're at very high HP and want to take on the Wintertodt. So the 2 ways you can approach this minigame depending on your goals. If you want to maximize the fire making, or if you're going for rare items in the crates. Because higher the points don't necessarily mean more fire making skill achieved. You can either maximize your fire making per hour or maximize the number of points you get. The more points you get, the more items you get in the crates, which means there are more rolls towards better items. So if you want to maximize fire making, you're going to start by lighting the brazier, fill your inventory with broomer roots by chopping the nearby roots, go back to the brazier. On the way back to the brazier, fletch 1 root while you're running, feed the brazier, go back to the roots, rinse and repeat, going back and forth, fletching 1 root, etc., etc. You should very easily get 500 points for a bonus to your fire making and a crate at the end of them. If you happen to be grinding for rare items, you start by lighting the brazier, fill your inventory with broomer roots, fletch all of the roots, feed the brazier, and then rinse and repeat. Generally, not fletching gives you better fire making XP, and fletching gives you more points. Some notes about this as well is that you're going to need to redo the action when you're damaged. So for example, if you're fletching or feeding, you'll have to click on the brazier again, or click on the knife and the wood in your inventory again. But you don't have to do this when you're wood cutting. When you're damaged, you don't stop wood cutting. Eat whenever you're around half HP, because if you're unlucky, damage can happen really fast, because there are 2 types of damage that you take. The Wintertodt can actually attack you, and also you can just get damaged by the cold. So if that happens at the same time or rapidly, you can die very, very quickly, which is probably bad for hardcore Ironmans. So that's all you really need to know to get started. There are a few small tricks laid into Wintertodt that I'm sure you'll learn along the way, and enjoy the very, very long grind to 99 fire making. If you like this video, please be sure to like and subscribe. Check me out on Twitch. I stream every night there, on Twitter, and also on Discord. Thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye.